is definitely in the air, and no matter if you decorate big or small, I have some fantastic decorating ideas for you. And the best part is they all come from Dollar Tree. Let's get to it. If you are looking at decorating your front porch this fall, oh boy, do I have the DIY for you. You want to go ahead and grab 4 large pumpkins. I happen to really love these orange ones, and 1 of these wooden leaves. Before you start building out your sign, you want to go ahead and remove any of the embellishments that are on your pumpkins and then sand off any glitter to make them nice and smooth. Then paint them whatever color you choose to paint them. Now it's time for you to go ahead and build your sign by stacking your pumpkins, but you do need to create like a spine or a structure on the back to hold them in place. I am using a SUREBONDER staple gun to staple them onto a 1x2. And that is how I'm securing mine down. You're gonna do the same thing with the leaf. You're gonna staple that to the very top pumpkin. Now I decided to go in and use a decal that I created with my Cricut, but this would be a great opportunity for you to use a Sharpie, paint markers, freehand it with a paintbrush and paint whatever it is that you want to do, and of course, whatever color scheme suits your personality and your decor the best. You will end up with a sign that is just over 4 feet tall. The letters are around 5 inches each, and I think this makes a great focal point for any porch decor. For this next project, you want to grab an assortment of these ball floral picks that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, and then you want to use a large needle and some twine, pop those balls right off, thread that twine through that needle, and just start threading that needle right through the center of those balls in whatever pattern you want. This is a great play on like some wooded bees, and you can either hang them up as like a traditional garland or string them over a basket like I did here. Simple and easy, but absolutely stunning. Now for a different twist on a garland, you're going to want to pick up some of Dollar Tree's little pumpkins. They come in packs of 5. Pick up whatever colors spark your interest. Get that larger needle and some twine, and you are starting to take those pumpkins in whatever color combination you like. Just take that needle right through those pumpkins and create the cutest little garland. This is just a fun little display you can hang on your mantle, over some picture frames, however you want to display it. Now another option is to pick just 1 or 2 colors, add some beads in there. This is darling of course for fall, but you can also transition it easily into Halloween. I adore this Hobby Lobby pumpkin, but not the price of it. However, if you pick up one of these orange pumpkins from Dollar Tree and some of Dollar Tree's yarn, you don't even have to stick with the ivory color. You can grab any of their yarn. To start off with, you're just going to cut a hole at the very top of that pumpkin, and then you're going to take your yarn and you are going to need 6 pieces of that yarn. Divide it up into 3 sections, so 2 pieces in each section, and then braid it like a traditional braid. Now here's the deal. You're going to tuck it into the hole and then just start wrapping it around. You're going to need to have different pieces of braid. You do not have one continuous long braid, so you're going to have different sections of braid. And so you do not get it too bulky on the bottom. Sometimes you're going to hot glue it at the top and then tuck it in and hot glue it at the bottom as well. Once you have completely covered your pumpkin, you're going to go in with a piece of wood. Dollar Tree used to sell these. Now you just need to cut a limb from a stem you find probably on a walk on a nice autumn day. Decided that my pumpkin needed a little green scarf, so I went in with a little bit of a chunkier braid this time and wrapped a braided green yarn right around that pumpkin. I think it gave it the perfect finishing touch, and this looks so high end. Now, if you see these black pumpkins at Dollar Tree, you can snatch them up. If not, you can paint an orange one black and do the same exact thing if you decorate for Halloween. Just get some black yarn, wrap it up in that braided yarn to create a nice little black braided pumpkin for Halloween, and it's super fun and cute. This is not a DIY, but it is a PSA. If you see these cement pumpkins, snatch them up, because at Hobby Lobby, these pumpkins are still $4.50, and so for $1.25, you do not want to miss out. They make a beautiful decor and such a staple while you are decorating for fall. Now for this DIY, it is great no matter what time of year it is. You want to pick up one of these candles. They come in black or white and they come in 2 different styles. Go ahead and paint them whatever is your favorite color. I'm going with green because it works for fall or any time of year. I chose to go with Moss by Waverly. You can pick that up at Walmart. After I was done painting them, I did go in with a white wax. Now I'm using one by Behr. It really honestly has a strong odor. I prefer the one by DIY Wax. You can go to their website and find someone local to you that sells it, or you can go to their website and get someone to ship it to you, but it has no odor, so it is by far my favorite white wax. You can see by looking at the one on the right that waxing it just tones it down ever so slightly. Of course, you can pair a couple of them together and create like a little vignette, or you can split them off and just have one of them and create just a really pretty placement for a candle. I love just having that little added pop of color. For this next project, you are going to need 3 of these little box signs that Dollar Tree carries, and you are going to glue all 3 of them together using some clips to hold them together while that glue dries. After that, you're going to take your favorite scrapbook paper and you are going to first measure it out and get some creases going on the sides so it will fold over nice and easy once you applied the Mod Podge. Do a thin coat of Mod Podge on the top, lay your paper right on top of it, smooth it out, and then go ahead and fold that all the way over. Then you can take your favorite craft knife, cut that excess off the back. That excess is what you're going to use to cover up your sides. Now you've created such an easy and simple riser to display some of your favorite fall decor, or you can actually use it for a backdrop like I have done here. Either which way, super easy and affordable. A super simple garland, snatch just some of these burlap leaves from Dollar Tree and some paint. All you're going to do is use a sponge and then dab that paint around the leaves in order to create some more dimension to each leaf. I prefer to go in with a contrasting color or a color that matches the leaf. Either which way, you can have a lot of fun with your leaves. Once that paint dries, you just use the little hook that's already on the leaf to hang them onto a piece of twine, and you have yourself a super easy, very fall festive garland to hang. Now, if you're really looking for a statement piece, whether you're throwing a large party, a fall festival, or whatever the cause is, grab some of these pumpkins, and if you really want them to pop, go ahead and take off that bland raffia and go with a really fun pop of color instead. Here I chose to go with a really fun pop of orange, and I just hot glued that new raffia bow down. Now to decorate the stem, I have some half beads, and I just glued 2 of those straight onto the stem. To hang this up to create that garland, again, I'm just using an assortment of beads. You want to take 2 of those onto the back, making sure that the holes go to the side, thread some twine through, and you have yourself a statement garland that is ready for any fall festivities. For this next project, you want to grab a couple of wood pumpkins from Dollar Tree as well as some of your favorite coordinating scrapbook paper. You're going to use Mod Podge to apply the scrapbook paper to the pumpkins. Now, I'm using the back of one of the pumpkins, so I didn't even have to worry about sanding off the glitter or anything like that. You do want to make sure your Mod Podge is really thin so you don't get the bubbling. Go ahead and press your paper on, smooth it out. Don't worry about the fact that it's too large, because once the Mod Podge dries, you're going to go in with a piece of sandpaper and you're going to sand off the extra. As you sand away from the edges of the pumpkin, it will just peel away and you will have the cleanest, crispest edges ever. This is the best way to apply paper to any sort of object. You can stop there, or if you want to do this next step so you can attach these and have them stand up, I'm using some of the tumbling tower pieces, gluing 2 of them together and then gluing them on the larger pumpkin and attaching the smaller pumpkin to that. And now these 2 pumpkins are attached and they can stand freely on their own. This is such an easy way to get decor to fit in any part of your house that you just want to add just a little touch of fall. I did the same thing with these 3 pumpkins, but this time I went in with more of a soft tan and cream colored scrapbook paper and topped the stems off with some twine. I really love the idea that you can create whatever color scheme you want just by picking up a few pumpkins from Dollar Tree. Another little spin on the pumpkin scrapbook is to grab these style of pumpkins. They happen to all be the same size, so you can just grab a couple of them or however many that you want. But this time you do want to make sure that you paint the sides. You can even paint the back if you want to, just so it either coordinates or it at least doesn't distract. Once you have it painted, then you go in with your Mod Podge and your paper and you would sand it off like you have in the past, and you end up with a beautiful pumpkin. Here you see I chose to go more blue. That's what makes this so much fun, is you can really lean your paper to whatever color you want to match whatever decor style you have. For this next project, you're going to grab one of Dollar Tree's rugs. Sometimes they are still in the packaging, some of their poster stickers, and we are going to create one of the cutest little rugs. So what you're going to start off with is by placing your stickers down and spell out whatever phrase you want to. I am saying hello pumpkin. I also am using one of Dollar Tree's orange pumpkins here and then just some spray paint. I'm using a spray tint so I don't have spray paint going everywhere, and it does take a couple of coats to get the coverage that you want. But after you peel the letters and the pumpkin off to really get those crisp edges, all you're going to do is take a Sharpie. I'm using a gray one here. I'm just going around the edges, and you end up with just the cutest little fall front door mat. I absolutely love it. I think it looks so good. And 3 years later, this is how it looks. I still think it looks good. And not only can you use this for fall, but the same idea I've done for Halloween as well as for other seasons. When you see these pumpkins at Dollar Tree, snatch them up. There are so many projects we can do with them. One of the easiest being just cut the top right off, leaving yourself either like a circle or a square. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Then taking a piece of fabric, if it's on the thinner side, you can double it up. And then taking that fabric, starting with the corners and tucking it right into that hole. You may need to go back and kind of fluff it up and fix it so that that fabric looks good all the way around. Then you can take a stick from wherever you get it, twist it in so that you have a stem of a pumpkin, and there you have it, easy breezy lemon squeezy. For almost next to nothing, you can fill up an entire basket full of pumpkins. You can do this exact same technique with smaller pumpkins, which you of course can find at Dollar Tree, but even better, you can do this with toilet paper. You can get 4 pumpkins for that $1.25 and really make your dollar stretch. If you happen to choose a lighter fabric, you might need to go ahead and give your pumpkin a base coat. Dollar Tree does sell white pumpkins, but they are hard to come by. Now, if you really want to take your pumpkin up to another level, you can use some rope to really add some texture to your pumpkin. You are going to take 4 pieces of rope, and you're going to start by placing one end inside the hole, wrapping it around, and putting the other end into the hole to keep it in place. Before you add the stem, to really take it up another level, take some rope, create like 3 loops with it, hot glue that down, and then take some more hot glue to hot glue the stem right on. This is just a little piece of wood. Dollar Tree used to sell these, but you can find a stick anywhere lying around on the ground somewhere and plop that onto your pumpkin. Easy breezy. This, I think, really takes it to the next level. This is another one where you can use a smaller pumpkin, but I can't tell you how much I personally absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite ones I have ever done. It really elevates those pumpkins. You can use these anywhere in your home for decor. I have this as a tablescape. It's neutral and creamy, but again, it really doesn't have to be. You can choose whatever fabric you want on the bottom. It just is stunning. The next time you're in Dollar Tree, you want to make sure that you snag one of these chalkboard signs so that you can recreate this super easy fall sign. You're going to start off by either painting or staining the wood on the outside. I'm doing a faux stain using some Waverly Wax and Antique. You can do the same thing with watered down paint. Go ahead and get that prepped, and then you're actually going to paint the chalkboard and the back side. I chose to paint them the same color. So here I'm using a decal that I created with my Cricut, but this would be a great opportunity to either use stickers or stencils and even freehand and do a combination of the two or whatever it is that you want to do, because it's such a simple saying on both sides. What is so great about this is you can either just have one side showing, both sides showing, it doesn't really matter. And that's what makes this so versatile and a great piece to have or add to your fall decor. For the next couple of projects, I want to show you how to use this truck from Dollar Tree and make some really cute signs. But if you can't find this truck specifically, you can also grab this MDF one and do something very similar. You're going to start off by painting your truck just whatever colors you want. I chose to go with black and gray, and of course, I made my pumpkins orange. The last thing to paint was the fencing inside of the truck. I painted that brown, but I honestly have no clue what you call that, so if you know what you call it, I would love for you to tell me. For the sign itself, we are using a cabinet door. You can find these at any thrift store. They're only like $1 or $2, so it is one of the best prices you're gonna find on wood anywhere. You wanna remove the hinges. That's easy to do with a screwdriver, and then you need to sand it because they are gunky and gross because normally they have been in somebody's kitchen. So sand, get it as smooth as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, and then go in and paint them whatever color you want to paint it. This time around, I went with a little bit more dry brushing than a solid paint, but honestly, do whatever you want to. It doesn't matter. It's just me showing you that a cabinet door is a fantastic base for a sign. I'm using some decals to create the wording. I created them with my Cricut, but this would be a great chance to use stencils or even freehand and create some really cute things yourself. To attach the truck, the best thing I have found is wood glue anytime you are gluing wood to wood. Next time you come across a cabinet door, think twice before tossing it out or passing it by, because for such a great price, you can create a super cute sign. When I saw this sign on the Kirkland website for almost $55, I knew that I could recreate it for a fraction of the price, and thank goodness for that cute little truck sign from Dollar Tree. The great thing about making it myself is that I could customize it, and I actually wanted it to tone it down a little bit. The sign was a little too dark in the black colors for me, and I wanted more of a gray, softer tone, and to bring in a little bit of warmth by adding that brown to it. And of course, I left the pumpkins orange. Now you want to head to Walmart to get the sign for the base of this. I absolutely love the sign. I felt like it was the perfect size and shape to duplicate that one that we are trying to from Kirkland's. Now using my Cricut, I was able to create the decals to match that original sign. I love it. Happy fall, y'all. Cool breeze, autumn leaves. I think this is adorable and for a fraction of the price of the one at Kirkland's. Next project is another great use for using these orange pumpkins. You're going to take two different colors of rope and alternate them as you go around the pumpkin. Now to begin with, you're going to have that hole on top, and you're going to take those ropes all the way around. Once you have covered up that center, then you're going to start at the bottom and work your way up to that hole, and you're going to keep repeating, alternating your ropes until the pumpkin is completely covered. Now, I personally find it easiest if after you filled that center, if you go perpendicular and then fill out the next center, and then those 4 sections that are still left, go in and fill those out, continuing to alternate the colors of the rope. To finish off the pumpkin, I just grabbed some lamb's ear out of my floral stash, and then a little piece of wood to be the stem, and then this little cutie is all done. For this project, you will want to grab one of the Dollar Tree wreath forms and some raffia, and you are just going to take that raffia and wrap it all the way around the pumpkin, and anytime that you come to an end, you can use some hot glue in order to secure it in place, and then just keep on wrapping, and you want to make sure that you cover the entire pumpkin. Now you're going to create like a woven look on your pumpkin, and you're going to divide it into sections. Starting with that center section, you're just going to take your raffia and you are going to loop it under and over those 2 center bars that are right there. Again, using hot glue when needed to secure it in place.
You can absolutely keep this all one color, which I think would be beautiful. It would be really pretty if you kept it all in that neutral raffia or did it all in the orange raffia. Or you can do something like I am doing here and you can combine 2 different colors. Now, when you are adding in that second color, notice that you are having to weave in between the sections of raffia that are already in place. So you can leave it absolutely the way it is, which I think it looks really cute, or you can add some decorative elements like some leaves, and I went ahead and even added the word harvest, which I spray painted white. I really feel this is such a beautiful wreath, whether you want to hang it on a door or use it in a little vignette like I did here. A much quicker way to cover up this wreath form, and one that I also love, is to start off by using yarn on the stem and then using ribbon to help cover up the rest of it. So here I am using some buffalo check. Of course, use whatever ribbon you want, and you are going to wrap some ribbon around the middle 3 sections. Then taking the exact same yarn that you started out with on the stem, you are going to wrap that all the way around the edge of the pumpkin, just like an outline. Make sure you use hot glue anytime you need to secure something. For the open areas, you just want to use another ribbon, whether it's coordinating or burlap like I have done here. Just hot glue those in place. Trim off any ribbon that might show from the front, and then decorate it however you want. I simply just use some lamb's ear and just an easy bow, and then you will have yourself a super beautiful and easy wreath.
If you enjoyed these DIYs, make sure you check out this video right here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!